What's up, everyone? It's Mr. Marambo coming at you with more science. In today's lesson, I will quickly go over the sugar simulation we'll be going through in class. First, you want to access the sugar simulation in the Smithsonian website by typing either this URL or simply Googling sugar simulation Smithsonian under Google. Click the launch button to launch the simulation. Once the simulation has loaded, you should see this screen. Pause and ask Mr. Marambo if you don't. In our procedures, our first step is to add water into this vessel. Remember to keep an eye on the particles at the bottom, which is the particles of the material inside this vessel or container, and the particles at the top, which is the air above the container. Let's begin by adding water. Mr. Marambo is adding 1 drop of water, 2, 3, 4. Now let's stop at 5 drops of water. Observe what is in the particles or what type of particles is in the material. Let's now add sugar into the container with the water in it. Mr. Marambo is going to add 1 cube of sugar. Look what happens to the particles in that water. 2 cubes of sugar. 3. See what's happening to the number of sugars particles in the container. 4 and 5. Since we're keeping this a fair test, we're only going to put 5 sugars in it. And look at the particles inside the container and the particles above the container. Now Mr. Marambo is going to evaporate the water, meaning make the water rise in temperature so that it turns from a liquid into a solid state of matter. Look at the particles above the container at the top as Mr. Marambo evaporates the materials inside the container. Evaporate 1. Look at the particles above the container, and inside the container, evaporate 2, evaporate 3, evaporate 4. Look at the particles above the container and inside the container. What's happening to the water particles above? Are they increasing or decreasing? And the particles inside, are the sugar particles increasing or decreasing, and are the water particles inside the container increasing or decreasing? And lastly, 5, evaporate. What is left in the container after all the water evaporates? And look above the container. Where does that water actually go?